So, what if I told you that one of the most famous thefts in scientific history wasn't about some priceless jewel or a masterpiece painting, but about a human brain? And that what it revealed would turn our entire understanding of genius completely on its head. Okay, let's set this scene. It's 1955. The world is mourning one of its greatest minds, Albert Einstein. And in a small hospital in Princeton, New Jersey, a pathologist named Thomas Harvey, well, he sees an opportunity that nobody else does. He did something absolutely audacious. During the autopsy, he just took Albert Einstein's brain. For decades, he and other scientists sliced it up into 240 little pieces, meticulously studying it, hunting for the physical source of his incredible intellect. Now, you'd think they were expecting to find some kind of biological supercomputer, right? Something massive, complex, just powerful. But what they found was a total paradox. Einstein's brain weighed just 1,230 grams. That's 12% less than the brain of an average man. This single number challenged everything we thought we knew about being smart. And this is what we can call Einstein's paradox. See, we tend to think of the brain like a muscle. The bigger it is, the harder it works, the smarter you are. But modern neuroscience suggests the exact opposite might be true. Genius isn't about raw power, it's about efficiency. To really get this, we have to go back over a century to a psychologist named Charles Spearman. He noticed this kind of strange thing. Kids who were great at math also tended to be pretty good at language and spatial reasoning. He figured there had to be some hidden variable driving all of this, a kind of master processor he called the general intelligence factor, or just G for short. For years, though, G was just this statistical ghost. It was a pattern in the data, for sure. But where was the physical proof? Well, neuroscience would eventually find this ghost in the machine. A really cool experiment by a neuroscientist named Richard Heyer finally gave us a clue. He scanned people's brains while they were learning one simple thing: how to play Tetris. And what he found was profound. The difference in brain activity was just stunning. A beginner's brain, it was burning massive amounts of glucose, lighting up like a Christmas tree as they struggled to rotate and place those blocks. But as the players got better, as they mastered the game, their brain activity just dropped. The experts' brains were cool, dark, and quiet. So here's the crucial point. The smartest brains, the ones with the highest IQ, they didn't work harder. They worked less. High intelligence isn't some V12 engine revving up. It's more like a superconductor with almost zero resistance, getting the job done with the least amount of effort. Okay, so intelligence is efficiency. But what makes a brain efficient in the first place? Well, this is where the data gets a little bit uncomfortable. It really challenges that popular idea of the blank slate. That any child can become a quantum physicist if they just get enough tutoring and work hard. Studies by geneticist Robert Plomin revealed something staggering. The influence of our genes on our intelligence actually increases as we get older. In childhood, it's about 40%, but by the time we reach adulthood, that number skyrockets to 80%. How is that even possible? I mean, shouldn't our environment have more of an impact over time? The answer is something called the active genotype. See, we aren't just passive passengers in our lives. As we grow up, we actively choose and shape the environments that fit our genetic wiring. A kid with a genetic knack for reading seeks out libraries, which just compounds their natural advantage. We literally build our own worlds based on our DNA. Now, this science has massive implications, not just for us as individuals, but for our entire species. It forces us to ask some really big questions about the price of our intelligence and the problems it might be creating. Let's start with a little evolutionary puzzle. If being smart is such a clear advantage for survival, Why aren't all animals writing poetry and building rockets? The answer, in one word, is cost. And man, what a cost it is! The human brain is a metabolic disaster. It's only about 2% of our body weight, but it devours a staggering 25% of all our energy. It is an incredibly expensive organ to keep running. To feed this energy hungry organ, we have to make an evolutionary trade off. The biologist Desmond Morris called us naked apes because we lost our fur, our claws, and a lot of our muscle mass compared to our primate cousins. Basically, we became physically weaker to become mentally stronger. So, how is this biological reality playing out in the modern world? Well, it's through a phenomenon called cognitive segregation, this quiet, large scale sorting of society that happens based on intelligence. It happens through something sociologists call assortative mating. We like to think love is blind, but the statistics tell a different story. People with high IQs tend to cluster together in the same universities, the same tech hubs. They meet, they marry, and they have children, concentrating these genetic advantages. This creates a powerful feedback loop, and it could potentially be splitting us into cognitive castes without us even realizing it. Look, this reality can feel insulting. It challenges our deep seated sense of fairness. We want to believe that all inequality is social and that we can just fix it with a new policy. But ignoring biology doesn't actually help anyone. As neuroscientist Richard Hare suggests, what if acknowledging that intelligence is a biological variable, like height or eye color, isn't a judgment? What if it's actually the first step toward empathy? A way to stop blaming people for their struggles and start building a society that values all of us for more than just our processing skills. So, what do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. And make sure to subscribe to the channel. There is a lot more coming that will definitely change the way you see the world around you.